Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon, and this is Shannon's Book Nook. And today I am so excited to bring you my September TBR. Holy moly, I cannot believe that it's already September. We're in full swing of a new school year. So, let, if you watched my new to booktube video, my very first one, you know that I'm a teacher, and I was afraid that once the school year started, I was not going to have a lot of time to dedicate to booktube, which unfortunately has kind of happened. I started during the summer, so I started back in June, and I was able, because I was on summer break and I wasn't working my second job anymore, I had more time to dedicate to booktube. And now that we're in full swing of a new school year, I have a heck of a lot of less time to dedicate. So you may be like, wait, Shannon, you just put out your fall TBR, your spooky season, the books that you want to read during spooky season. Yes, I did. And now we're about to get September. So welcome to the chaos. All right, so let's get into the books that I'm going to read. I have quite a few, so let's get into it. So, as I said, I do have quite a few books on my TBR this month. Um, why do I do this to myself every month? I think I live in a permanent state of delulu because every month I come in with 10 books at least, maybe more. And do I stick to my TBR? I try to, but it doesn't always work. And I read things off my TBR because Libby likes to throw randomness at me. But this is what I hope to read this month. And then I also will mood read part of the month. So the first book I'm super excited about. This is The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill by Rowena Miller. And this cover just gives, I don't know why, but it just gives fall vibes to me. I know it has flowers on it, which is technically spring, but this, I don't know. It's fairies. We got some magic down here going on. So let me tell you what it's about. On Prospect Hill, you can get nearly anything you want from the Fae, if you know how to ask and if you can pay the price. There is no magic on Prospect Hill or anywhere else for that matter, but just on the other side of the veil is the world of the Fae. Generations ago, the first farmers learned to bargain small trades to make their lives a little easier. A bit of glass to find something lost, a cup of milk for better layers in the chicken coop. Much of that old wisdom was lost as the riverboats gave way to the rail lines and the farmers took work at mills and factories. Aylin Fairborn's, I'm not sure, it's not Aylin, that's from another series, but Aileen, I'm not quite sure how to say her name, I'll have to look it up. Fairborn's family, however, was always superstitious, and she still hums the rhymes to ensure dry weather on her sister's wedding day. When Delphine confides that her new husband is not the man she thought he was, the sister will stop at nothing to help Delphine escape him. Small bargains buy them time, but the price for true freedom may be more than they're willing to pay. Sounds like drama. I'm excited for this one. Next, we have Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Now, this book is on my 12 books recommended by 12 friends. I have not had very good luck this year with the books that have been recommended to me. I have given, you know what, maybe it's like a half and half, but it's either I love them or I hate them, because I think I've read maybe like six or seven, and two or three of them were 5 stars. I know I DNF'd a couple, and then a 2 star in there. So, like I said, it's been a very mixed bag. But this I've heard very good things about. Sorry, there's hair on the book. But I've heard really good things about this. I've never read a book by this author before, so I'm kind of excited to see what it's all about and what the hype is about. So, even on the top, it says one of the top 100 romance novels of all time on Goodreads. We'll see about that. I wanted to lose myself in the small town of Pelion, Maine, to forget everything I had left behind. The sound of rain, the blood, the coldness of a gun against my skin. Oh my goodness. For 6 months, each breath has been a reminder that I survived and my dad didn't. I'm going to cry in this book, aren't I? I don't even want to read more of the synopsis because I'm already hooked. How is this a romance, though? Okay, no, I don't want to read more. No, no, mm-mm. We're going to put that right there, and we're not going to read any more of the synopsis. If you want to read more of the synopsis, actually, you know what? Here, I'll hold it up for you. You can pause to read if you want to read more of the synopsis. There you go. Because I don't want to spoil myself. On to the next book. All right, now if you have watched one of my TBRs, I can't remember if it was June or July. If you watch my TBR video or even my wrap up for that month, you have seen this book on one of my TBRs before. I'm hoping because we're getting into the Burr months, like September, October, November. Okay. So we're getting into the Burr months. We're getting into spooky season. I'm hoping that the vibes will be vibing and I will want to pick up this book more. If not this month, definitely next month. But it's going on this month's TBR. And it's Got the Canna by Runix. This is a dark academia book. It says an unusual girl, an enigma man, an ancient castle, what could go wrong? An outcast her entire life, Corvina Clem is left adrift after losing her mother. When she receives the admission letter from the mysterious University of Verranmore, she accepts it as a sign from the universe. The last thing she expects, though, is an older, secluded castle on top of a mountain riddled with secrets, deceit, and death. Okay, let me just show you the print, like the font type that they chose. It is not easy to read for me. I think it's just, I don't know. The way some of the letters are formed I'm like, is that an R or an N, or is that a T or an F? My eyes have such a hard time reading this synopsis. So if you want to pause and read, go ahead and pause and read again, because my eyes do not like this font at all. But this is the indie book. It has since been republished traditionally. So I know that this is a very popular book because it has been picked up by a publisher. I absolutely love that there are pictures in some of the chapters, like that. Love that. Love when books have more than just words and all that. So I'm excited for this one. All right, I'm so excited for this next book. Okay, when I read it, the synopsis during my fall TBR, like my spooky season TBR, this is probably going to be one of the first books I start with, especially because it was gifted to me by a friend for my birthday like 2 years ago, and I still have not read it. So this is going to be priority, and it's The Hanging Tree by Irina Shapiro. This is definitely got some historical fiction. We got some witchcraft. So I am here for it. It says in 1640, Allie Bailey was accused of witchcraft and sentenced to hang. Today, Allie is said to haunt Lockwood Hall, the Tudor manor house where she died. When Nicole Rayburn travels to Lockwood Hall and begins to research Allie's story for a new book, she discovers startling irregularities in Allie's case. Nicole's suspicions mount as every answer leads to more questions. What really happened to Allie? And what became of her son who disappeared the day she was hanged? Could it be that Allie's death was the result of a well-planned conspiracy? Or is there another less obvious answer? And who is trying to sabotage Nicole's attempts to discover the truth? As Nicole delves deeper into Allie's life with the help of a handsome crime writer and a history-obsessed vicar, she comes to realize that things are not quite as they appear, and people will sometimes do the unthinkable to protect their secrets. I mean, historical, we got witchcraft, we have the dual timelines. So no, got some mystery. I'm here for it. This is going to be my first read of September for sure. This next book is a book that I have a NetGalley arc of. And since I'm an Atria partner, I also have the physical copy. So I need to get this read because this book has already been released. And I need to get it done because I have it as like an arc in two different places. Excuse me. All right. So it's The Unraveling by V. Keeland. I have heard, you know what? I haven't heard very much about this one. And what I have heard was pretty good. So I'm excited for it. We have the little printout paper here. And it says, this isn't a love story. It's a story about obsession. You'll assume you know who the object of the obsession is. The psychiatrist concealing the twisted connection she has to her patient. Or maybe her patient isn't as innocent as he seems. But more than one person hides a secret. To what lengths will desire and grief drive a person? Stop guessing. Let the mystery unravel. Okay, I am here for it. So I also have the audiobook for this because it's on Everand. So I will be tandem reading that. I think I'll also be tandem reading Archer's Voice and The Fairy Bargains of Prospect Hill because I have been struggling to read with my eyes lately. I don't know if it's because my attention span or I don't know what it is. So I try to find an audiobook for all of the books that I read because my attention and I'm just so tired. My eyes are so tired by the time I get home. It's just easier for me to listen and read at the same time. So yeah, I'm excited. All right, up next is another Atria partner book. So the publisher sent this to me and I am so excited to read this one. I don't know why, but this cover is giving. It is called We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. Oh, I'm not sure how to say that last name. I have to look it up. Sorry, Marcus. But it says Get Out meets Parasite in this eerily haunting debut and Reddit hit, soon to be a major motion picture about two homeowners whose lives are turned upside down when the house's previous resident unexpectedly visit. As a young queer couple who flips houses, Charlie and Eve can't believe the killer deal they've just got on an old house in a picturesque neighborhood. As they're working on renovations one day, there's a knock on the door. A man stands there with his family, claiming to have lived here years before, and asking if it would be all right if he showed his kids around. People pleaser to a fault, Eve lets them in. As soon as the strangers enter the home, uncanny and inexplicable things start happening, including the family's youngest child going missing and a ghostly presence materializing in the basement. Even weirder, the family can't seem to take the hint that their visit should be over. And when Charlie suddenly vanishes, Eve slowly loses her grip on reality. Something is terribly wrong with the house and with the visiting family. Or is Eve just imagining things? I mean, I'm going to have to read this with the lights on. That sounds so creepy. Okay. And I believe I have the audiobook for this as well. So that's great. Love it. All right. We are almost done. We have this one and one more. So, next to last is Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nethercott. This is one of my Book of the Month books. This was given in one of their boxes from October of 2022. So I've had it on my shelves for a couple of years now. This one is so weird. I don't know if it's gonna be for me, but we're gonna try. Okay. So it says the Yaga siblings, Bellatine, a young woodworker, and Isaac, a wayfaring street performer and con artist, have been estranged since childhood, separated both by resentment and by wide miles of American highway. But when called to receive a mysterious inheritance, the siblings are reunited, only to discover that their bequest isn't land or money, but something far stranger, a sentient house on chicken legs. Thistlefoot, as the house is called, has arrived from the Yaga's ancestral home in Eastern Europe, but not alone. A sinister figure known as the Long Shadow Man has stalked it across continents, bearing violent secrets from the past, fiery memories that have hidden in Isaac and Bellatine's blood for generations. There's more to the synopsis, but I'm stopping there. Okay. This one, I don't know about the sentient house on chicken legs. That's just a little strange. But will it work for me? We'll see. We'll see. This one could go either way. I could be like, that's too weird and not want to read the rest of it. Or, okay, this is just weird enough. Let's keep going. So we'll see how it goes. All right, my last book is Not My Type by Evie Mitchell. Now, I do not have a copy of this book. I'll be reading it. I think there's an audio of this book on Everand. So I'll be listening to it. And I want to try a book by Evie Mitchell. I was planning on reading Thunder Thighs first because that is about a plus size girly with a Viking, but I might be starting with Not My Type. I love the representation that Evie Mitchell has. So in this book, the cover has a female in a wheelchair. So I'm loving the representation that we have. I don't know what the disability is, so let me read the synopsis. He doesn't do relationships. She doesn't do flings. Everything they thought is about to unravel. Frankie. What? I'm sorry, that was weird. It just says ... Frankie, and then it goes into the next sentence. Anyways, when you say you're a sexologist, people imagine Marilyn Monroe. They don't expect a woman who uses a wheelchair. As the host of the All Access podcast, I'm breaking barriers. Oh, I see. Okay. The way it's supposed to go, we're talking, Frankie is the girl that's talking, so it's her perspective, but they don't have it written out like that on Goodreads, which is very strange. Like, let me show you if maybe you can see it. Like this second line, it's that's so weird. I promise I'm not. I promise I can read. Okay, let's see. As the host of the All Access podcast, I'm breaking barriers, crushing stigmas, and creating sexual connections that are fulfilling for my fans. I'm like Cupid, but with pink hair and fewer diapers. Only I've hit a snag. A lovely listener wants some advice about accessible rope play, and I'm drawing a big fat blank, which leaves me with no option but to get out there and give it a go. Which is how I meet Jay Wood, rigger, carpenter, and all around hottie. I'd be open to letting him wine and dine me, only Jay isn't my type. He's not a one girl kind of guy. Monogamy isn't even in his vocabulary. And I'm not a woman who will settle for being second choice. But the closer we get, the more Jay has me tied up in knots. And it's making me think maybe I could compromise and accept a little wood in my life. I'm sorry. The puns are punning. Okay, hang on. Let me find my spot again. Even if it's only temporary, Jay, only even if it's only temporary. Okay, now we're going to Jay's side. Frankie's funny, intelligent, and ridiculously sexy. This should be a no brainer. A little fun in the sheets and a little romp with some ropes. Simple. Only the infatuating woman is asking for more. I'm not that kind of guy. You wouldn't even know how to be that. I wouldn't even know how to be that kind of guy. I'm the definition of easy. It'll be fine. We'll be friends, just friends. So why does my heart feel frayed? And why is it I can't help but consider taking the ultimate leap of faith, tying myself to Frankie permanently? Warning from the author. This is an insta love piece of goodness that is too cute for words. Get thee some rope, a partner, and settle in for a delicious little romp. P.S. There are no werewolves in this book. Why is that? Okay, I'm loving the author's humor, and I have a feeling I'm going to love this book. Oh my gosh. So, thank you so much. If you stuck around, that is all the books that I plan on reading in September. No, okay, I lied. That is my TBR for the month of September. I will probably end up reading other books. So, thank you for sticking around this long if you did. Don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. And please, I would love a comment or two. Tell me what you're reading in September. And you have a fantastic day. Bye.